Let's talk about Aaron Hodge for a moment. Aaron Hodge is something that I think, especially if you live on the eastern side of the state, you need to be aware of. Aaron Hodge was also known as Aaron Flick. He was convicted of the triple murder of his family when he was a juvenile. He was sentenced to life in prison, but he was resentenced because of the 2012 Supreme Court ruling that juveniles needed to be able to have the opportunity at parole. In 2015, when Aaron Hodge, formerly Aaron Flick, was resentenced by a Lee County jury, they resentenced him to 30 years in prison. 1995 murder to 2025, that's 30 years. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. He has served 30 years in prison. Now, he's not getting out early. He didn't have any good time because Aaron Hodge would not stay out of trouble in prison. In fact, when I made my original video that's about to play, Aaron Hodge had 32 major disciplinaries from 2017 to the end of 2022. He now has 36. So that's 4 more major disciplinaries. He is being held at Bricky's Max, East Arkansas Maximum Security Unit. Aaron Hodge doesn't follow the rules. Aaron Hodge doesn't care, and Aaron Hodge has never taken responsibility for this crime. The most Aaron Hodge has ever said is that he is accused of murdering his mom, his half-sister, Andrea, and his stepdad. The most Aaron Hodge has ever said is that his stepdad, he came in and saw that his stepdad had murdered his mom and sister, and that, being so upset about the murder of his mom and sister, he decided to shoot his stepfather. But he changed the story to say that his stepfather had already committed suicide at that point in time, and he just didn't realize it. Aaron Hodge is full of crap. He's a liar. Explain to me. If you did murder your mom and your sister, explain to me why you let them sit in a house for a week and decompose while you were living it up. Tell me why. You can't, because it's not true. So this person who he has served his 30 years in prison. It is baloney that he even got 30 years in prison, in my opinion. But he served his 30 years in prison, never learned to follow any of the rules, never took responsibility for his crime, and now he is being released tomorrow. He is being released on October 21st, 2025, according to messages that I have received. So I would just steer clear of him if I were you, to be quite honest. I feel very strongly that Aaron Hodge will reoffend because he doesn't follow the rules. In 30 years in prison, he couldn't once figure out how to just do what he was supposed to do so that he could get out even one day early. So I'm not buying it. The original video will follow this, so you can watch that. My heart goes out to the Flick family, the family of all 3 of the victims, but the Flick family is a majority of that, and I guess the Hodge family too. I hope that you guys remain safe. I really do. So here's the video. This is about Aaron Hodge. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole in 1996 in Craighead County. But Aaron was 17 years old at the time of his crime. So due to the Supreme Court ruling in 2012 that minors can't be sentenced to life without parole, he was resentenced this month to 30 years in prison. But let's get into his crime. So in 1995, Aaron lived with his mom, Barbara, his stepdad, David, and his half-sister, Andrea. They were the Flicks. Aaron went by Aaron Flick at that time. In October of 1995, Aaron's family had planned to go to Florida on vacation to visit family and friends. But they never made it, and when they didn't make it, the family started calling Rector Police, where the family lived, and requesting that they do a welfare check. On October 13th, police found out that Aaron Hodge was at the homecoming game in Paragould, that he had driven his stepfather David's truck to that game, and they went and made contact with him. They brought him back to the police station to talk to him. Aaron told police that he had heard from his family, but not that day, but said that they were supposed to return that day. The police did let him go, but they went to the home to investigate further. When they arrived at the home, Aaron was back home. He had been staying in like a garage apartment at the home. So the police asked if they could go inside the actual home, and Aaron told them that the door was locked, that he couldn't get inside. But the police did notice that it looked like there were sheets on the floor. Aaron told them that the home was being remodeled. Police then got a hold of an employee that worked for David Flick at his transmission shop, and had that employee take them to the transmission shop and get them inside. The employee had to kind of break in a little bit to get inside, but when he got inside, they realized that a toolbox had been broken into, and money along with a pistol were missing from that toolbox. The next day, the police went by the house again. They saw Aaron Hodge outside with a friend of his, and they asked about his parents again. He told them that he would tell them at the police station. They took him to the police station, and after inquiring a little bit further, he said his parents were in the house, that they were dead. Inside the home, the police found blankets and pillows and stuff laying all over the floor. They found the bodies of the 3 family members, and could tell that one had been dragged from the living room back to a back bedroom. They also found one spent .38 caliber cartridge on the floor and 4 additional cartridges in Aaron Hodge's bedroom in the actual house. A friend of Aaron Hodge's told police that Aaron had called him on October the 8th and asked the friend to take him by David Flick's shop at like 11 o'clock at night. When he got to David Flick's shop, he broke inside, took $30, a pistol, a gun holder, and some shells. After that, Aaron Hodge said that he needed to think, so he went by a cemetery, and then he went home. The next time that his friend saw him, he was driving David Flick's truck, which was incredibly unusual because David Flick didn't allow Aaron to drive his truck. Other people were able to tell police that they saw Aaron Hodge driving the truck throughout the week. He was using David Flick's credit cards to buy things and get money. He was throwing parties at the garage apartment. He was having people over, having sex, purchasing marijuana and alcohol. And like he told several people, he was having the best week of his life. When police found the bodies on October the 15th, they were in advanced stages of decomposition. At trial, Aaron testified that he had gotten an argument with his stepdad over being caught about stealing the gun, and he left, and when he came back, his sister and mother were dead, and his stepdad was asleep on the couch, so he came and shot his stepdad, really pointing the finger at his stepdad for killing his sister and mom. But other people testified that his mom and his stepdad both had told people that they were afraid of Aaron. And really, like it was said in court paperwork, if Aaron loved his sister and his mom so much that he was so upset about their death that he would shoot his stepdad in retaliation, why did he let their bodies sit for an entire week before telling anyone what happened? Also at trial, Aaron changed the story a little bit to say that he shot his stepdad, but he didn't realize that his stepdad had already committed suicide. So anyway, he has stayed in trouble in prison, and he will be getting out at some point soon.